Here's something the real estate industry quietly hopes you never figure out. A modular home built for $180,000 can appraise for $260,000 the day the last bolt is tightened. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you heard someone say they built wealth through their home and actually meant it? Not just appreciation over 30 years, not just hoping the market goes up. I mean, real, tangible, documented equity that shows up the moment the project is complete. That is what we are talking about today. And modular construction is the vehicle that makes it possible. Here's the core concept you need to lock into your brain right now. Equity is not something you wait for. It is something you engineer. And modular building is one of the most powerful equity engineering tools available to anyone willing to learn how it works. So let us start with the basics. Modular homes are built in a controlled factory environment and in sections called modules. These sections are then transported to your land and assembled on a permanent foundation. Now here's where most people get it wrong. They confuse modular with manufactured or mobile homes. These are completely different things. Modular homes are built to the same local building codes as traditional site-built homes. They appraise the same way. They finance the same way. And they build equity the same way. The only real difference is how they get built. And that difference is where your financial advantage lives. Traditional site-built construction is expensive. It's unpredictable and slow. Weather delays, labor shortages, material waste, contractor scheduling conflicts, all of these variables stack up against you and eat into your budget. The average cost overrun on a custom site-built home is somewhere between 10 and 20% of the original estimate. Now, it's money you borrow, money you pay interest on, and money that immediately works against your equity position before you even move in. Modular construction flips that entire equation because the building happens inside a climate-controlled factory. Weather is never a factor because the process is systematized. Waste is dramatically reduced. Because labor is specialized and consistent, timelines are predictable. The average modular build from module completion to move-in ready takes somewhere between 3 and 6 months, depending on the complexity of the project. That speed alone is a financial weapon. Now here's where the walk into equity strategy really starts to click. When you combine a well-researched market land purchase with a modular build that comes in under the appraised value, you create immediate equity on day one. Let me paint you a picture. You find a parcel of land in a growing area for $120,000. You commission a modular home build that costs you another $160,000 all in. Your total investment, $280,000. But because of the quality of the construction, the location, and current market comps, the property appraises at $340,000 the moment it is completed. You just walked into $60,000 of equity without a single mortgage payment. That is not theory. That is a repeatable strategy. The key variables that determine how much equity you walk into are land cost, build cost, and appraised value. Your job is to optimize all three simultaneously. Smart modular builders do this by hunting for undervalued land in areas with strong growth signals, choosing floor plans that maximize livable square footage relative to cost, and selecting finishes that photograph and appraise well without blowing up the budget. Let's talk about land for a second because this is where most beginners leave money on the table. Raw land, especially in rural or transitional areas, often trades at massive discount relative to what it becomes the moment a quality home is sitting on it. A parcel that seems far from everything today might be 20 minutes from a growing tech corridor, a new distribution center, or a school district that families are flooding into. If you can see that trend before the market prices it in, you have found your foundation for maximum equity. Now, I want to address the financing side because this trips people up. Most traditional lenders do not offer standard mortgage products for modular builds in progress. You typically need what is called a construction loan. The advantage here is that you are locking in your rate and terms up front, and your payments during construction are often interest only, which keeps your cash flow manageable while the project comes together. Now, some builders also use this strategy as a rental play. They build a modular home, the property appraises above cost, they do a cash out refinance to pull back their initial investment, and then rent the property for a positive monthly cash flow. They call that rinse and repeat. It is a slower version of the fix and flip model, but with significantly more control and less risk because you are building something new rather than inheriting someone else's problems. The emotional reality of this strategy is something nobody talks about enough. There's a moment, usually right after the final walkthrough, when you're standing inside a brand new home that you created, knowing that the number on the appraisal report is higher than everything you spent to get there. That feeling is not just satisfaction, it is proof. Proof that you understood something the average person did not. Proof that patience, education, and calculated risk taking actually pay off in the real world. This is not a secret reserved for developers or investors with deep pockets. Modular building has democratized quality construction in a way that housing industry has never fully acknowledged. The barrier to entry is lower than you think. The upside is higher than most people realize. And the strategy is available to anyone willing to do the work and understand it. Start with the land, find your builder, run your numbers, and walk in with equity. We did this ourselves and walked into $40,000 in equity. If you're feeling like homeownership is unattainable, click on the link in the description. You will be amazed after spending $39 to see the raw process of our modular home build, how simple this can be and become a reality for you. Good luck.